In the early 7th century, two superpowers dominated the world: the Eastern Roman Empire in the west and the Sasanian Persian Empire in the east. Rome's legions and Persia's cavalry had clashed for generations, draining both empires in endless brutal wars. Between them lay the Arabian Peninsula, a land of tribes dismissed as a backwater by both empires. Neither Rome nor Persia saw Arabia as a threat; it was merely a buffer zone, a place for mercenaries and intrigue. But from this overlooked desert, a new force was rising, one that would soon shake both empires to their core. The world was about to meet Khalid ibn al-Waleed, a military genius whose name would echo in the halls of power from Constantinople to Ctesiphon. The stage was set for a seismic shift in history. The Titans were about to fall. Khalid ibn al-Waleed was born into the powerful Quraysh tribe of Mecca, destined for martial greatness. As a young man, he fought fiercely against the early Muslims, commanding Meccan cavalry at the Battle of Uhud. There, his tactical brilliance turned near defeat into victory by exploiting a single enemy mistake. For years, Khalid was Islam's most formidable opponent, respected, feared, and unmatched on the battlefield. But in 629, everything changed. Khalid converted to Islam, bringing his unmatched military mind to the Prophet Muhammad's cause. His conversion was a turning point, transforming a former enemy into Islam's greatest general. From then on, Khalid's sword would carve a new destiny for the Muslim community. The conqueror of Mecca would soon become the Sword of God. His legend was just beginning. Khalid's first test as a Muslim commander came at the Battle of Mu'tah, facing a massive Roman force. With the Muslim army leaderless and surrounded, Khalid seized command, rallying the troops and fighting with unmatched ferocity. He broke 9 swords in the chaos, leading from the front and saving the army from destruction. That night, Khalid used deception, rotating banners and staging fake reinforcements, to convince the Romans that Muslim numbers had swelled. The ruse worked. The Romans hesitated and Khalid orchestrated a brilliant retreat, saving his men from annihilation. When the survivors returned, the Prophet Muhammad honored Khalid with the title Saifullah, the Sword of God. Khalid had proven himself not just a warrior, but a savior of armies. His reputation as a master tactician was sealed. The Muslims had found their champion. The world would soon feel the edge of his sword. With Arabia united, Khalid turned his gaze to the mighty Persian Empire. In 633 he led a small, mobile force into Mesopotamia, outmaneuvering and crushing Persian armies at battles like Walaja. At Walaja, Khalid used a double envelopment, trapping the Persians in a deadly pincer and shattering their ranks. Within a year, most of Mesopotamia fell, and the myth of Persian invincibility was broken. But a new threat loomed. The Romans massed a colossal army in Syria. Khalid led his men on a daring desert march, emerging where the Romans least expected and turning the tide of war. His arrival set the stage for the legendary Battle of Yarmouk. Khalid's campaigns had already redrawn the map. Now the fate of empires hung in the balance. The decisive clash was at hand. The world watched as the Sword of God prepared for his greatest test. At Yarmouk, Khalid faced overwhelming Roman numbers, but his tactics and leadership proved unstoppable. For 6 days he probed, adapted, and waited for the perfect moment. When a dust storm blinded the Romans, Khalid struck, his cavalry smashing their flanks and breaking their lines. The Roman army collapsed. Syria was lost forever to Byzantium. Khalid's victories shattered both the Roman and Persian empires, paving the way for the rapid rise of the Islamic Caliphate. Undefeated in over 100 battles, Khalid's genius lay in speed, surprise, and psychological warfare. He inspired his men to achieve the impossible, changing the course of history. The old world order was swept away. Khalid ibn al-Waleed, the Sword of God, became a legend, his legacy echoing through the ages. Even the mightiest empires could not withstand the will and brilliance of one extraordinary commander.